Okay, most intermediate drummers don't actually need to spend more time practicing. They just need to make a couple fewer decisions when they sit down on the kit. For example, you've sat down thinking, what should I practice? You pull out an old groove, old fills, or even worse, you start to scroll looking for ideas. And this isn't a motivation problem, it's more of a decision problem. And I'm not just going to give you a list of exercises to run through, I'm going to give you some tips on how to decide what's actually worth your time. So let's get straight into it. Okay then, for intermediate drummers, let's try and find our problem. So, for me, intermediate drummers have just got so much information. You've got Instagram, YouTube, teachers, PDFs, videos. There's just so much of it. And I get it, everything sounds useful, everything sounds important, but as a result of that, your practice can become quite scattered, you don't know where to focus your attention, and as a result, your progress feels slow, even when you're putting in a lot of effort. And you're kind of in a weird spot as an intermediate drummer, where beginners get told exactly what to do, and the advanced guys just know exactly what to do, because they have a clear vision. My goal for this video is to save you time, so you never have to watch another one of these videos. If you could finish this video and think, wow, I never have to watch another video like that to decide what I need to practice, that would be amazing. Okay, so the main idea of the video and my sort of thesis is that intermediate drummers aren't practicing the wrong things, they're just practicing too many right things with no system to sort of prioritize them. And actually, in the age of social media, I don't think that the problem is laziness, I just think the problem is sort of filtering of all the information we have, and that practice has become almost a decision-making skill as well as a physical skill in terms of your drumming practice. So in order to solve our problem of decision-making, I've come up with a little mental framework. So before you practice anything, it should be solving a couple of key tests. So the first problem that I'd like you to think about, or the first test, would be, does your drill or exercise solve a problem? For example, you might be working on your speed, your control, your coordination, your timing. If it's not really solving a problem, then it could be likely sort of filler practice or stuff that you really shouldn't be working on that's not going to really expand your vocabulary or anything like that in your drumming. Okay, if you are during the video, make sure not to click off quite yet because we've got some more niche points coming towards the end of the video. Thanks. Okay, the next one, and the one that I think about quite a lot, is does your drill or exercise appear in sort of a real playing scenario? It's like a song or anything like that. If not, it's sort of a bit of a red flag, like if it's sort of such a random weird exercise that you would never ever use it in any sort of your musical context that you tend to drum in, then I'd say maybe avoid it or pick something that's really going to be more applicable to the stuff that you're playing. A good example for that would be something just like random. So you know when the people get the sticks to hover on the hi-hat using the other stick, stuff like that. When are you actually ever going to be using that stuff apart from maybe to look cool? Which is fine, if you're trying to look cool when you're drumming, then you do that. But instead of real context, you're never ever going to be using one of the sticks to hover the other stick during a solo or a piece or anything like that. Okay, the next one is a good one to sort of understand what you're going to be practicing and what it's going to be improving, is understanding when you're practicing what is breaking first on this sort of drill. So is it your speed, is it your consistency, or is it like your technique? That's really going to help you understand what you're playing and sort of the purpose of why you're doing it. And sort of give you a bit of a vision on what you then need to go and improve on. Okay, next one is talking about measuring your progress. So, if you haven't got a clear idea of where the practice is going to lead you, or your vision for where you're going to look in, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 months, a year, with what you're practicing right now, it's going to kill your motivation a little bit because you're not going to be able to see yourself grow from your sort of base level up to where you want to be. I'd ideally have a nice idea or a practice routine that's going to allow you to measure your progress and keep your motivation really high as you actively see yourself improving your drumming. But as a caveat, as always, this is only just a framework. You don't have to follow this like as gospel. It's just to stop you from getting confused, stop you from wasting time. Just a quick little decision framework. You sit down on the kit, does it do this, does it do this? Yeah, it's all good, I'm gonna practice it. Or no, actually I'm not sure why I'm practicing this, why would I be practicing this? It's not very useful to me. We'll sideline that, we'll chuck it for a sort of another time, or we'll move on to something new that's actually going to help me improve. Okay, here are some things that maybe you should avoid as an intermediate drummer practicing. And an important note is, these aren't necessarily bad things to practice, they're just sort of lower ROI right now than other things you could be practicing. Okay, firstly, I'd advise you to avoid and steer away from random, fancy, amazing, maybe, but albeit very fancy Instagram or YouTube licks, and just sitting down at your kit and learning a new, weird, unrelated lick every single time you sit down on the kit. You're just never ever going to use them, really, are you? I just advise you to be practicing the basics. Moving on to the next thing, move on from things that you are really, really good at. I know it's fun to play stuff that you're good at because you're good at it, right? But really, I'd advise you to take the things you're good at, park them for now, unless you can make them harder, in which case do that. Delve even deeper into those exercises, especially the easy ones. You can make them a lot harder, but park that for now, move on to something a little bit more different or difficult that's going to sort of build your drumming. Again, next up is having loads and loads and loads of variety instead of depth. So what I'd love you to do is actually sort of pick like almost a little quest for your month or 2 month or 3 month project. So for this sort of 2 to 3 month period, I'm going to get really good at X or Y or whatever. So for example, I'm going to get really, really good at comping in jazz, or I'm going to get really, really good at linear fills or whatever you guys do in rock. I'm not really 100% sure. But yeah, in sort of jazz, you could get really good at your technique, your ride technique, or your rolls, and yeah, just focus really hard on that one thing instead of having a real spread of things that you're practicing on. Okay, next up is practicing to impress other people. And the annoying thing is, you're actually going to look more impressive if you practice not to impress other people in a weird way. If you're really dialed in on your basics and your technique and everything like that, you're going to end up playing more impressive stuff in the future instead of just playing basically terrible, horrible, like weird licks and fast stuff that you're not actually very good at. Instead of building your basics and becoming good at those things sort of by diffusion of your skills into those things in the future. And yeah, you're going to end up impressing better drummers by doing it this way instead of trying to impress your mates or people that don't play the drums. And really the key point here is all of these things feel productive, they make you feel good when you're doing them. They're not actually moving the needle, they're actually not making you better at drumming as a whole, and not building your future as a better drummer into sort of the advanced levels out of the intermediate levels. And on a side note, I actually wanted to talk about ROI, or your sort of return on interest of your practice time and your drumming time, because evidently the big problem is we don't have infinite time. Like we don't have like a gazillion hours a day to be practicing drums. We all have different lives that we want to be improving as well as improving our drumming at the same time. So really the point is, I don't want you to be playing more, I just want you to be wasting less time when you're on the kit. That's really what the good players do. They don't spend a gazillion more hours practicing, they'll just refine what they have and make sure that they're really dialed in on the sort of stuff that they want to be practicing, and that's just going to save you loads of time, not only in drumming, but also in real life, because you don't have to spend time, you could be doing something else, practicing or drumming. So yeah, a nice little side note to think about there. Right, next up, what I think you should be practicing, and again, as I said earlier, I'm not going to give you a whole list of exercises to do because that's sort of against the point. The point is, I want you to be wasting less time on the kit. So I want you to attack your technique practice and your drumming practice in general through bottlenecks. So talking about bottlenecks as in the thing that collapses first when you're practicing, whether that be your speed, your technique, or like your stamina, and using technique and drills and stuff like that to really improve on that little thing that's going to get you past that bottleneck and open up a whole different world of possibilities of things that you could be playing once you've done with that bit of practice. And again, coming back to ROI, taking on skills that transfer across multiple different genres, whether that be molar or your double strokes or anything like that, skills that really pay back your time that you put into them, whether you're playing jazz, whether you're playing rock, whether you're playing Latin sort of stuff. There's a handful of these certain skills that you need to get really, really good at that's going to pay back massive dividends when it comes to you moving across to maybe a little different style that you haven't tried before, and bringing across all those skills from your previous technique practice. Another good idea to think about is anything you can't control is going to control how you play the drums. So for example, if you're super, super, super uncomfortable at really, really slow tempos, which I was at some point with my jazz playing, really slow tempos used to scare me quite a lot. That actually controls how you play, definitely controlled how I played. Whereas when I'd be practicing, I'd sort of tend to move towards the sort of faster tempos just so I could avoid the sort of uncomfortability of being in those lower tempos. But yeah, try and control the things that are controlling you right now, and that's going to allow you to open up control of the whole sort of genre of your drumming. Right, so another thing you can take away with you is that your good practice should be exposing your problems in your drumming really, really quickly. For example, your bad practice, you might go weeks without thinking, wow, this is probably hard. As soon as you realise you haven't had something hard to do, or it's feeling a little bit too easy, you know that maybe your practice needs a little tweak. Go through those rules again, have a look at what you're playing is actually testing you, and try and find something that's really going to expose your problems quickly, which is just going to make you become way more fluent in on the drums, and yeah, in the future then you can just tweak your practice as you go to make sure you're staying in or out of your comfort zone. Okay, so hopefully you're there with all of this information. Make sure you apply it to your next practice session. If you have enjoyed the video, do drop a like, sub and comment what you thought of it down below. Check out some other videos, all my equipment's in the description, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video and have a good rest of your day. Cheers.